Okay. I'm going to test a lower resolution on my camera to see if the upload speeds work. So time to kill. Just sitting here. I'm going to watch a video. Let's see. Which one will I watch? Let's just watch this guy.
All right, I'm Robert Breaker, Mission Evangelist to Spanish and English-speaking people, and welcome back
Hi, Robert.
to the Cloud Church. I've got a Bible study for you today on a very important subject, something I've been dealing with lately. What the Bible says about eating meat. What does the Bible say about eating meat? You know, there's lots of folks out there that are very against eating meat. I guess they call themselves vegans, and they say, "Oh, well, you're evil for eating meat." And most of them, well,
I think my first thought on that is we're not, we're against the exploitation of animals, which includes eating meat, but it also includes other things like the shows we see, the clothing we wear, the medical stuff we do, when avoidable, of course. So I don't quite. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, there's no big deal. That oh no, I lost where I was with this guy. I got to learn how to push these buttons.
the reason they're like that is because they say, "Oh, it's wrong to kill animals," and "Oh, I would never eat an animal," and they think it's icky to eat the flesh of an animal, so they don't eat ham.
No, we don't think it's icky. I mean, I think most of the vegans I know, we all ate animals for, a large portion of our lives. I don't think it was icky. And I still don't think, I mean, I don't think it would freak me out. I mean, some of it sounds kind of gross. Like eating an egg sounds kind of gross because it comes out. Oh, I just got a text. Because it comes out of chicken's butt. And I'm like, just that kind of grosses me out. Because, have you ever been to a buffet and you see like a hair somewhere on the buffet and you're just like, oh, I don't want to eat that. That's just a hair. I mean, can you imagine an egg comes out of a chicken's bunghole with all that gook on it? I mean, it's like if I took an apple and rubbed it in chicken poop and I said, here, but I washed it off. You want to eat it? I don't think you would, but you do to an egg. So that's kind of gross. But I don't think eating meat is gross for some reason. I guess because I did it for so long. I'm still conditioned to do that, but because I'm a Christian, I've chose not to participate in animal abuse. So, no, not gross, just not something I think I should be involved in.
Burgers, they don't eat steaks, they don't eat chicken. They think it's murder, which is silly. It's really silly. Because
It's not silly to think it's murder. I mean, in Leviticus, it talks about how to kill an animal, but if you do it improperly, the word used for it is murder. You're guilty of murder. So, yeah, it can be.
usually these very same people are not believers in Jesus Christ or in the Bible or in the gospel. And so you ask them, what do you believe? They say, well, I believe in evolution. I believe we came from monkeys. Well, if evolution is true, and it most certainly is not, but if evolution is true, it's survival of the fittest. You go out to the Sahara, you go to Africa, and
He's making a generalization because, like, I'm on your side, dude. I'm Team Jesus. But I get what he's saying because most of the people I talk to, and I'm even going to guess a lot of the people watching this live or whatever this I do, or I'm trying to learn how to do right now, is probably atheist. So, yeah, Mr. Robert Baker bearded guy, I think you're right there that many are, and I can see why that would upset you, or I maybe not upset you. Maybe it shouldn't upset you if I'm doing. Say I'm doing this as if I'm thinking about how I would go about doing one of my commentaries where I do all the editing and stuff. And I'd sit there and try and think of things that I agree with them on and not just disagree, because it's easy to point fingers and say, oh, you're wrong about this, you're wrong about that. I don't want to do that. Where was I with him? Oh yeah,
animals are killing animals and eating each other. So
what people in the 1950s did to stay skinny.
Cereal. No human being had a bowl of dry.
Oh, commercial.
In the King James Bible, and every time it shows up, I went and looked at it. And what I want to do today is I want to just show you from the Bible what the Bible says about eating meat? Let's look.
Somehow I'm going to guess it's all on the positive side of you should eat meat. What do you think, guys? What does anybody think?
Look at this. Now, of course, I want to rightly divide, as we always try to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the focal point the cross of Jesus Christ.
See, that's what I like about this guy. You know, the whole rightly dividing dispensational look that he uses. To me, dispensational theology answers a lot more questions than it creates. If you don't know what that is, it's probably for another video.
I'm going to go over here under the law in the Old Testament. We're going to look at some of the dietary laws in the Bible. Then we're going to come over here to the age of grace, the church age, in the New Testament. And we're going to look at what does the Bible say. Here's the rapture, so you get an idea of where we are. We're about right here at the end of the church age. We are here. I'll just go ahead and write that up there. We are here.
Yep, if you don't know where that cross is, that's where Jesus dies and things change. That's the New Testament. Then we got the Old Testament. Think of it that way, which is really kind of difficult if you're not into the Bible thing, because we got the four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, that are told before Jesus dies. So really, that's kind of like a transitional time between Old Testament and New Testament stuff. And I think dispensationalism, mid-ex dispensationalism, addresses that transitional time pretty well. I like it for that reason. But yeah, the law and stuff on, where is it? Oh, I can't put my finger in front of it, can I? No, I can't. All right, I'm learning stuff. Let's see. On, well, that side, unless this is mirrored, then I'm screwing it all up, is Old Testament and law, which is where people were saved under the law, or not even saved, but they were aware of God through the laws that Moses gave us. However, with Christ, after that, we're no longer under the law of Moses. So, and he's making a big separation there. And I like that.
So remember, as we go through this study of meat and eating meat in the Bible, we're not here. We're not under this. And you know, some Christians, they try.
But I'm going to guess he's going to use all that stuff that we're not under to defend his point of view for eating meat today. Let's watch and see.
Try to put people back under the law. And that's the problem, is they try to say, well, under the law, you can't eat this, you can't eat this, you can't eat this. Well, what about under grace? Can we eat certain things? So that's...
Can we eat certain things? Can we eat things made from animal abuse? No. Can we eat things from the sexual molestation of innocent animals? No.
What we're going to do, we're just going to basically look through the Bible, see what the Bible says about eating meat. Is it right to eat meat? Or is it, as some people teach, wrong to eat meat? Which is right? Well, what does God say about it? First of all, I'd like to go to Colossians chapter 2 and verse 16. Because here's an interesting verse from the Apostle Paul. And Paul tells us in Colossians chapter 2 and verse 16, he says, "Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or of a new moon, or of a Sabbath days." So Paul says to us, let no man judge you in meat. So let me say, first of all, according to the Bible, you have no right whatsoever to judge me if I eat meat.
Well, I do, because you're not eating meat for the same purpose that the church in Colossae was eating meat. This is in the book of what did we just say? Colossians. See, if I wasn't doing this live and I was editing, I could take that little brain fart out. But Paul's dealing with a bunch of people who, when they ate meat, they were eating meat that may have been sacrificed to idols. And remember, Paul is long after the death of Jesus. These people were eating meat not because they just went to the grocery store and picked up a steak. They were eating meat that was sacrificed to idols, pagan gods in Rome. The Romans had tons of gods. Oh, they did sacrifices to their gods, just like the Jews did sacrifices to the other gods. And the problem was, if you were a new Christian in the faith, you might have still been under the impression that eating that meat would join you to that God. It was a way of joining. It's like, when you and I have dinner together, if we sit down and have a meal, we're going to, share bread, break bread with me, that kind of thing. And if we both eat that same bread, we become joined through that bread, because what that bread is now substance of me and substance of you. We're the same. So when Paul was saying you can eat meat, he was talking about the meat offered to idols. Yeah, you can eat it. It doesn't mean anything. You're not joining to anything. So as a Christian, it's not that you won't be serving another God by eating it. You see, that's what that was about. It isn't just like, yeah, guys, go to the drive-through. Get me a double. Where am I on the phone?
The Bible says clearly that you should not judge another person based upon whether or not they eat meat.
The judgment isn't because they eat meat. It's what eating that meat represented. You shouldn't judge them on eating meat, because they know that that meat, even though it was offered to an idol, it doesn't mean anything. Those idols, according to the Apostle Paul, they're just carved in stone. They mean nothing. They don't breathe. They have eyes. They have noses. But they can't see. They can't hear. They can't smell. They're nothing. You're not serving another God. Eat whatever you want. That was his attitude. It wasn't like he was just carte blanche going out there saying, hey, I want you all to start eating meat, and I'm laying down a formula for the rest of all time.
Now that's a good verse to start out with. And
Now,
yet today,
it's a bad verse if you want to support your point of view, but chances are a lot of your congregation doesn't think about the way meat was used to serve gods. So you can get away with it, but there are those of us who have read scripture, and we understand that there's more context to that than you're sharing right now. But he's going real quick. I'm going real quick. I'm just tired.
we hear of people judging you. Many of the lost vegan people, they judge you and say, you're a murderer because you eat meat.
He seems like he's really upset by us, doesn't he? If he ever sees this video I'm doing, he's going to get even more upset. That's kind of fun.
And yet, on the other side, those that claim to be Christians, we have those that are judging you and saying, oh, you're under the curse of God if you eat meat because you're not supposed to eat meat. Well, what's the middle ground? Actually, what's the truth? What's the authority say about it? What does the Bible say about eating meat?
Hey, Anna, you found me, huh? I went on StreamYard to test and see why all the videos I'm doing are coming out so glitchy. And I did this speed check, and I've got an upload speed of 33 megabytes per second. So everything's supposed to be good. So then they came, yeah, you did found me. So they came back. You're the only one. So let's chat. Before anybody else gets here. Not that anybody's even going to look and know that I'm here. It's late at night. Well, it's not that late. It's only 9 o'clock. I thought maybe I could get away with it. What the heck was I saying before you said that? Oh, so the upload speeds and all that stuff. So the help desk said, try doing it at 720 instead of 1080, even though my computer, everything it says I'm doing should work. I should get over on this side more so I'm not cut off by Mr. Bearded Pastor Dude. It should be going fine, but it doesn't. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna sit here, watch a video, and do what I do. Okay. What is it? If we share a meal, we break bread. We should share a meal. I'm gonna fly up to Portland one day and do activism with you guys, and just take you all out to lunch or something. Join through the bed. Oh, okay. You're saying where I left off. Thank you. All right. I guess, dang, you're not going to take me out to lunch. All right. So I'm guessing that's how much of a delay is going on here. All right. Yeah, I'm guessing. All right. See, I'm learning. This is all educational. All right. But now I'm wondering, okay. I bet you got a lot of we got great vegan restaurants here too. Oh my gosh, I am so blessed. We got this one where the menu is this big. And I mean, it's overwhelming. One of the fun things about being vegan when I first went vegan was, you have to rewind. Oh, okay. But there was so few vegan options on the menu. I got 3 things to choose from. It's easy to choose. But now like we got the modern vegan, which has, a gazillion things on there. I go, I can't decide. And I'm just like, somebody just pick something for me. It's vegan. I'll eat it. But, oh, can I pick up a picture? I'm going to see if I can't find image. I'm going to show you a picture. Maybe I can just find the waffle picture. I always use the waffle picture. If I can find it. Oh, here's my wife, Maria, with the waffle. This is the kind of waffles they serve at this place. Okay. Yep, that's my wife making a silly face, but it's chicken and waffles. I don't know if, okay, so wait, if I can do this right, it's mashed potatoes down here, and then there's a waffle. The waffle was so fluffy. Then there's like this, whatever they make their fake chicken thingy out of, I don't know, another waffle, asparagus, and there's strips of some kind of vegan bacon. I don't know what brand it was. And then, of course, big glob of butter. I'm not much for butter. I just dumped it, but I know she was being silly. But that was our waffle there. And did that give you an idea of how good the restaurants are? I bet you got stuff like that too. You got to send over some food pictures. I think a reason as vegans are always posting food pictures on our Instagrams and stuff is because we're just tired of hearing people say, all you guys eat are salad and grass. And we're trying to no, we have this. Like wherever I'm doing. So what are you doing up this 9 o'clock? What are you doing online 9 o'clock? Don't you have things important you could be doing? You must be, aren't you editing? I was editing all day today, and I just said, I'm done editing. I'm just tired of it. I'm going to just log on here and do this. And when I'm editing, I always have, like chats up in the background. It was? When does that go back to? Was that years ago? No, don't go back to editing. Stay here and hang out. I never get to talk to you. You're always busy fighting with people out on street corners. I want to go do that with you out there. It's just I haven't done that. I've been doing the college thing lately, which has been so rewarding. The conversations I think are good. The ones that let me. A lot of them say don't videotape me, and I honor that. But I like what you do. I mean, you always get their permission. I'm like, wow, how do you do that? They just trust you. Nobody trusts me. I wouldn't trust a guy with hair down to his butt either if he walked up to me on the street. Oh, thanks. My conversations have been great. Thank you. Appreciate you saying that. Yeah, coming from you, that does mean a lot. And thank you for letting me have conversations in your chat section. I guess I'm always under the assumption you don't want to deal with the religious guys, so that's the ones I kind of jump on for y'all. We all have our lane. I try to stay in mine. I wouldn't know how to do what you do. I would love to be on the panel, but sometimes it's so many people there seem like they get upset by the religious thing. I'm like, I just don't want to stir it up. Everything's going so good. I don't want to, upset anybody, and I'll stay in the chat but if you get somebody, just say Steve. But sometimes I'm not on my phone. I'm on the computer when you're on TikTok, and so I can't unless you know how. I don't know how. And but I can't log on. I can't. Is it chat on TikTok on the computer? So then I have to switch to my phone, which I can do. I mean, if you get a Jesus freak or something, I can do that. That would be fun. If I can't do outreach with you in person, at least I can do it like that. I can't from the desktop. It's a flaw. I don't know anything about. I'm getting there. As you can see, I'm doing this when I can. It's been a day of editing a lot of stuff. I've been editing a lot because a lot of pastors out there have been picking on the Billie Eilish thing. I don't know how they heard about that, but oh my gosh, their comments were so rude. And I just can't believe that's coming from my Christian brothers and sisters out there. They're just so mean. And like, even if you disagree, come in and say, hey, I disagree with you. And this is the reason why, this scripture, why, that scripture, why. And then we can, reason together and, which is a Bible term, and you can't even get that. They're just like, I had one, not a pastor, but a Christian apologist. He's just sitting there eating a steak. I'm like, why do you do that? It's like the Apostle Paul in Romans said, was it Romans? Yeah, he's like, if it offends a brother, I'll never eat meat again. Just because he didn't want to offend somebody, where these people are like purposely offending. And I'm like, that's so mean. I'm like, why are they doing that? But they're all doing it with the whole Billie Eilish thing. So that doesn't seem like that's going to go away for a while. I'm so glad she did that. And I'm just finding out about Billie Eilish. I did not know who she was. I heard her name only because of vegan stuff. I had no idea how immensely popular she is. And I'm glad she is. I'm glad she did that because it really brought it into a market that so many people never heard about. And also the thing is, and the point I was making, like, do you know the name Kirk Cameron? Remember him from Growing Pains, that TV show that was on back in, was it the 80s? Or was it this? Yeah, I think it was the 80s. Or was it the 90s? I don't know. He's a preacher dude now. And I think he's aware. I'm guessing. So this is being judgmental. But I want people, I was just guessing. When you put Billie Eilish in your hashtag, you're going to get Billie Eilish fans looking at whatever content you put out. So he does this. What is it? 80s. Yeah. Okay. So he did this, and that's cool. He's bringing a whole bunch of Billie Eilish fans to a Christian social media channel. Probably fans that would never go to a Christian. You'd think he'd put Jesus first and be nice and kind and polite. Instead, he starts dissing her and talking bad and using scripture to defend animal abuse. And I'm like, shouldn't you be a little bit kinder? Like put on your best suit because they're watching you. You're getting access to thousands, what could be thousands of people. I don't know, thousands of people that never would have heard Jesus stuff before, and you're being so mean. And I was just, wow, man. I hope you come and slap me upside the head if I ever do that. I think a lot of their hostility, like this preacher here guy, you can tell. Okay, here I am again. You can tell it's guy talk. If him and I were in a locker room, I was talking, I'm like, dude, from the size of you need to cut down on what you're eating. So guys can do that. I think we do. Maybe it's not right, but we do. And, I would want my friends to do that to me. But this guy, I think, is feeling attacked when we attack meat eating. And rather than deal with it from a scriptural basis, it's a knee-jerk reaction, like, how dare you take my meat away? And that's why he's got this attitude he's got. And he's also looking at the scriptures through meat-eating goggles. If I don't know. I'm just blabbering on now. Should I leave all this up? Should I delete it like I've been doing when I test the lives? I don't know. You decide. You're the boss. It's just you and me in here tonight. Oh, what fun. It's like our first date. What did that say? Have you tried to have conversations on camera with? I sent out a lot when I first came out with the book. I sent out a lot of emails to pastors saying, hey, I saw your commentary on this. I put out this book, blah, blah, blah. And it's really neat because the book gives you authority, even if you don't have it. But I sent it, and none of them wanted to, do anything like this with me. I couldn't get a single one. I'm going to guess, what did I do? I think my first attempt was maybe 30, 40 churches that were within a 4 or 5 hour drive from here, just in case, they said, well, I don't want to really do it online. I'm like, I'll drive out to you guys, because to me, what I'm doing is I'm using book sales to finance that kind of thing. So I'm sitting, okay, you're laughing now. I don't know what it is you're laughing at. Is that a laughing thing? Yeah, oh, it looks like the Hulk laughing. I don't even know what the right emojis are. Gosh, you kids with your emojis. So, okay, I lost it. Oh, yeah. So I talked to other pastors, and one Bible study group, I think it was a Bible study group led by a pastor, but it was a home church. And they took my book, they put it, they actually spent the money if they didn't have a shredder, and got it shredded and sent it back to me with a note saying they're doing the Lord's work. So yes, I have tried to have conversations with them, but it's not too successful. It's all good. You know what? It's who knows what step I take today. What seed planted today doesn't grow a year from now, or who I talk to once goes online and sees you doing activism and you say just the right thing to push them over the edge. We don't know, and that's always the stuff about activism is, I hear people criticizing, let's just use you and me as an example. Like they'll say, oh, Steve, you shouldn't do it that way, or Anna, you shouldn't do it that way. I'm like, the thing is, we don't know, because the success is going to be determined by the person we're talking to, and each person is different. Some people need an aggressive militant vegan. Some people need somebody well-educated like you. Somebody need a religious fanatic like me. We don't know who's going to push the right buttons in the right way. Let's see. You think they'd be more open to talking to others in their faith? That's how we all grow together. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And you're saying 100% too? Yes, every person is different and is receptive to different. Did you see? Probably not. It was a long time ago, back when I was in my old house with the other office and all the comic book stuff. I did a video where I commented on Earthling Ed, who I think is a genius. Oh my gosh. He's just so good at what he does, isn't he? And I'm trying to remember the story back, and I don't want to mess it up, but generally went like this. He said he'd give me, a few minutes after a Bible study one night to convince him to go vegan. So in my mind, I was still very new. I thought, I'm going to show him an Earthling Ed thing. And did you ever see the series Earthling Ed did where he's got an all white background and he does, I think it's like 30 rebuttals to 30 objections or something like that. And every one of them is gold. It's just great. So this guy from this Bible study, and I think he was the pastor. I can't remember now. I need to go back and watch that video because it's been so long. I don't even remember, but the comment I remembered. And I even had a conversation with Gary Yourofsky about it because Gary went to the rescue, right? I point to new. Yeah, aren't they great? Okay, so I shared it with this Bible study guy, and I didn't get through very much of it at all. And this was his comment, because remember, it was the white background. Think of what Ed looked like. This guy says to me, I'm not going to listen to some hippie faggot with a man bun. Ed's dishing out diamonds and gold, and this guy had it blocked just because of the way he looked, because he had a man bun. Now, I could have just, said, peace, I'm out, that kind of thing. But I'm like, that's not going to do the animals any good. What's going to do good for the animals at this time? Obviously, I had an opportunity at bat and I struck out. So I thought, one more shot. And I got him to watch Gary Yourofsky. Not only did he give me a few minutes like he said he would give me, he watched the entire Gary Yourofsky. And then I don't know if he asked if there was more or if I said, hey, there's one more, because there was a Q&A after the greatest speech Gary ever did. and he watched all of it. So here's a guy who didn't even want to give me a few minutes, but when he heard Gary Yourofsky, who's a little bit more aggressive, he went for it because he needed to hear it that way. Even though there was nothing wrong with what Earthling Ed did. You see, so it's not me, it's not you, it's not the activist, the person. We don't know that person. Luckily enough, I had two times at plate to swing the bat, and again, I don't know if he went vegan, but at least, who knows? Maybe he is now, maybe he isn't, but at least he listened, and I got over 60 minutes of vegan conversation with Gary Yourofsky and this guy. And I told Gary about this when I interviewed him for my channel. It was really nice. And I like Gary. I thought his presentation was so convincing. Yeah. But I also feel that way about Earthling Ed, but we don't know. Okay, you're giving me fire and clappy hands. Yay. Oh, wow. Maria's still sitting there eating. Oh, should I find other food? Yeah, let's get rid of Maria's food. Okay. She cooks. My wife loves to cook. She makes all kinds of food, great food like that. I can't stand cooking. A peanut butter and jelly sandwich is the extent of my cooking abilities. So I should put this
look at today.
Oh, no. Very good. But that's her activism now. She does the bakery thing. Now that she's getting a little bit too old to be doing the kind of stuff she did. Yeah. But oh yeah. Oh, nice. I'm glad you got a cook in the family. But she's started a bakery thing, and she does farmers markets. She does festivals. She brings vegan food everywhere, and it's been a wonderful form of outreach. Because she doesn't like the confrontation part. I don't know how you put up with it. You're amazing the way you stay calm and you just keep delivering, unless they're total, chuckleheads, and then you rip into them, which I just sit there and go, yeah. But she doesn't like that confrontation. At least when she's doing the baking thing, it's just, she doesn't even let people know it's vegan half the time. They just eat it, and she goes, oh, and by the way, and it turns into a nice conversation. You rant at home a lot? Do you, when you get back, like, oh, it was a miserable day? I don't rant at home much. I don't think I do. I don't think I do. If I do, I probably should watch myself, because I don't want to make Maria all crazy about it. She has been nice enough to come out and videotape me a few times, but a lot of times the camera's just static, which is why when you see me do outreach, it's like you're only getting half the picture. Or, you know what? I don't like looking at this guy when I'm talking to you, so I'm just... Oh, no. Don't drive him crazy. But it's good. It is good to let off sometimes like that. I go to the gym a lot. I do. I think that's why. I think that helps me stay calm a lot, because I really work out hard. I'm there for, like, today was, I just burped, excuse me. Today, 30 minutes of stretching, followed by about 60, 70 minutes of lifting for my bony little, skinny little vegan muscles. And then another 30 minutes on the treadmill. So I really work off a lot of frustrations there. I think that's why when I come home, like, I'm just too tired to be mad. What games do you play? Are you into video games? I don't know about them either. As you can tell, I have a hard time operating YouTube Live. I'd be terrible. But video games, I could not do. You can do them? I'm impressed. For me, Pac-Man was confusing. Now, I did have, like, when I was a teen, we didn't have video games. We had pinball, and the local hangout had pinball machines. But here's comes the juggler part. You're not very good with my games. On the pinball games, we would bet money because that's what you do when you're in Chicago and you're a kid and you want money for pizza. And I would say, I bet you I could beat you, but I would play like this, on pinball where you do this. Oh, I just okay. You play pinball like this. You're standing there, do. Okay, I'm a pinball winner. Okay, I would play it like this, so I'd hit the flippers like that, and I would challenge people. It was also the way I would train. I was training my brain for my juggling career. I did a lot of things like that. Are you going to use your VR system in your outreach? I hear that's very effective. Is cross arm style a word for it? I don't even know. I mean, we're talking back 1972, 1973. So I don't even think. I just did it because I was teaching myself to juggle and I wanted my brain to operate like that. Like, here's a challenge. Everybody's like, how do you learn to juggle? And I'm like, it's not just juggling, but when you go home tonight, brush your teeth with your left hand instead of your right. See how coordinated you are. Start doing things left-handed. Go ahead and try and wipe your butt with your left hand. Or if you're right-handed, the opposite hand. I go, your brain really just like, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Does not compute. And I think it really helped me. Well, I guess maybe it didn't help me too much because I got friends that are such better jugglers than me. I mean, something that takes me 6 months to learn, they learn in 6 days. And I'm like, I hate you. Oh, they run off with the VR. So it's just glasses that you put on. You don't have to. You tried to. Why did you even try to brush your teeth with your left hand? What were you in the mood for? Like I wonder what Steve does. No, you didn't. If you ever want to come on this live, I can invite you on. Just like you said, you can invite me on TikTok. I can invite you on here. I can send you an invite. I don't know if you've seen any of the videos I do with like some other, like that one pastor, his name's Craig Wesco. He has a vegan church, an online vegan church. So curious if you can do it. It was confusing. Doesn't it feel totally weird? Not now it doesn't, but I mean, my brain still remembers that. I go back to that memory. You're not camera ready? I'm not either. Look at me. Okay, wait, all right, there. Okay, I'm all fluffed up. I look better. Oh gosh, that's terrible. I got my glasses on. I don't care. I guess I do, but I don't. It's weird because back when I was performing, I was always worried about being, but I'm not now. Yeah. But boy, I see other people are logging on and logging off. If anybody's out there, say hi. I don't know if I know who you are. I was doing a commentary
So first of
on
all,
this guy.
let's go. There's other kinds.
This guy, when VSL popped in, and then I just decided to chat with her because I thought it was just the two of us. Oh, but now there's more. I welcome the distraction. I welcome you anytime. You have always been so cordial and so kind to me. I can't begin to express how grateful I am to all the kind words you share. I appreciate you so very much. I don't get that from a lot of content vegans, but that's okay. We press on. I press on. Just like fingernail tips. Press on. But okay, but I see other people are watching. Now, I'm not, I have no way of knowing who's watching, do I? It's not like there's a list or something on this. Is there? No. I'm looking around for it. And to the other people who did just log on, you missed our discussion on waffles. Creepy lurkers. Okay. I don't even know if they're vegan or non-vegan lurkers. I don't know. Maybe it's this Robert Baker guy. Oh, hi there. Okay, okay. Oh, I'm so excited. I just learned on my last time I did this how to put, where is it? It's over here. How to put the little thingies here. I didn't know how to do that. Oh, awesome. How long you been vegan for? Oh, cool. You guys know each other. Oh, I love it. Have I seen you like in some of Anna's chats before? I'm gonna guess I have if you're popping in here. Yeah, doesn't every vegan say that? Not as long as you wish. Boy, I wish I would have been vegan sooner. I was doing such horrible animal stuff. I don't know now how I would have ran the rescue shelter as a vegan. I'm so conflicted because if you don't know, my wife and I we ran reptile rescue here in Las Vegas for 25 years, 28 years. And doing rescue work is very painful. You get a snake in, and let's just say it has mouth rot. This is an example I use quite a bit. Mouth rot is, it's an infection where it just chews up everything. And do I spend what could be thousands of dollars on this snake that we just rescued from a bad place? I usually don't comment much, but yes. Well, you should comment. Please comment. Say hi to me. Oh, the mouth rot. Sorry. So snake will come in, and we'll have to have the lower half of it. Snakes open their mouth like that. We'd have to have this part of their mouth removed. I did, and from that point on, to feed them, we have to stick the dead rat, which is what snakes eat because they're outward carnivores, in there and shove it down with a plunger for the rest of its life. And it would cost thousands. So then, as a rescue, you come into, and this is something I want to do a chat on one day. I don't know, and I'd really be interested in poor snakes for sure. I could go into 25 or more years of rescue horrible snake stories, but as a rescue, do I spend thousands of dollars to try and save this one, or do I euthanize it and use thousands of dollars to help snakes that could actually live productive lives? It was a horrible decision to make. And I did it often, and I did euthanize so many of them. And as a vegan now, I don't know what I'd do if I still ran a shelter. I don't know how I'd respond. It became so heartbreaking. Towards the last years while I was vegan, I didn't start out vegan when we started doing the rescues. But wow. And that's just one story. I could tell you, I got hours of that stuff, which I think might be interesting. Maybe, what do you know? Do you guys think that'd be interesting to do videos about that? Because part of me is just like, I know, yeah, but, just like I got the whole Jesus thing going, which has just been a passion since I was, 5 years old. I also have the snake thing going, which has been, a passion since my first pet snake at 17, 15 years old, 17 years old. Y'all know what I did with a snake, don't you? Again, it was exploitive, but do you know? Did I ever talk about that? Oh, hey, Victoria. How do I feel? I don't know how I feel about it. I won't know until I won't know how I feel about it until it uploads to YouTube, and then I can play it and I'll see if I look all glitchy. So I started chit-chatting with a vegan stoner lady. If you don't know her, Victoria, Anna, Victoria, meet each other. Victoria is part of Creation Care Church, the online, vegan church, which is just wonderful place. I mean, probably not so much for you guys because it is a lot of teaching, but for vegan ammunition, it's also wonderful. Lori, with reptiles, it's really hard to know how much they suffer, and it's really, yeah, it is, because they don't whine and cry like a puppy or a kitten does, or a dog or a cat. It's very hard to know they're ill until they're so far gone that it's obvious. I, having been around snakes for, since I was a teenager, you know what to look for after a while. But there are so many people that go to a pet shop, they buy a snake, and they assume the guy at the pet shop knows what he's talking about. So they'll take his advice. They'll bring the snake home, and they'll have an aquarium this size with some astroturf and a hot rock and a light bulb over here and a little bowl of water, and think, hey, this is what I'm supposed to do. And it's like the worst prison in the world for snakes. It is just, a snake. I forget what organization it was. Maybe I should look into this if I'm going to talk about it, but I will if I do an official video rather than just a live chit chat like I'm doing here right now. But they put trackers on snakes, and like a Burmese python, I think it was, would travel about 10 miles a month. Well, if you're kept in a cage this big, and first off, if you're a Burmese python, you shouldn't be in a cage this big. But even if you're just a small corn snake or king snake, and the cages they sell you are only 3 feet long, if you can get from one side of the cage to the other in less than a second, how long do you think it's going to take for you to achieve that 10 miles of travel that you would normally do if you were out in the wild? It's cruelty. It's beyond cruelty. And snakes don't understand glass. To them, it's like some kind of Star Trek force field that nobody can see. And they just keep pounding up against it. Like, how do I get out? How do I get out? And then they get their noses, they call it nose rub. So much I could talk about. I really want to do that, but I don't know if it would split the market for my channel, because I'm just as familiar with snakes as I am Bible stuff. But and my first snake died a horrible death, long death. I just didn't know. No, but yeah, Victoria, I was just checking out the low res thing, and I guess this has happened the last couple times I did one of these chats or did one of these lives. But once it uploads, we'll see if it's all glitchy. Okay, you're saying wow. Wow to what? Is my hair out of place or something? What happened? I got to put my glasses on to read. I wonder if I can expand this, make it bigger. Nah, that's not too good. No. Okay. As a snack rescue, well, I've saved quite a few snacks from going in the garbage because I ate them. I'm like, you gonna eat that? I'll have it. I knew what you meant. I did put up a couple videos saying wow to the snakes. Right? I did put up a couple videos. I don't know if you saw them, where it says throwback to reptile rescue days or something like that, with one of those cheesy openings that I made on Canva. I don't know if you saw that or not. But we did so much with snakes, and we had so many, hundreds. Literal. I mean, I'm not exaggerating when we had hundreds over the decades come through our doors. And Maria really did the most work on that. I did all the physical labor, but when it came to getting them, rescuing them, finding them homes, Maria did a lot of that. Her modeling career, again with the wink, her modeling career is what paid for that. So what we kind of did was whatever money she raised doing that is the money we put into the rescue. And luckily enough, she was doing really well. So, I mean, sometimes thousands of dollars would come in, sometimes only hundreds, but whatever came in went to the animals. We weren't nonprofit. We never asked for money from anybody. And what's that? Do you guys think with this technology of lab meat, there's a good chance for a reptile? I think the technology there, but I don't think anybody would care. I don't think there's, I don't, let me read the question again. Do you guys think that with the technology now of lab meat as food for reptiles, there is a good chance for reptile rescues? I think what you're saying is what we call snake sausages. There was a market that came out where they would just take rats, mice, hamsters, gerbils, rabbits. It got grounded up and put into sausage form so you could feed it to your snake for the squeamish people. But it's hard to make money off that because most snake people, they're just too cool. We want to see the live killing, which is sick, just sick. But that's the kind of market for people who buy carnivorous animals like snakes. So could they make it? They could, but is there a market that's going to buy it? Probably not, so no one's going to produce it. Instead, they'll do the snake sausages. I don't think there's more than one, or there was maybe two. I can't think of the second one. You know, back when I was involved, I haven't done this. It's going on, what, 6 years now since we've done rescue work. But nobody wanted it. Every time I suggested it to people, because, you know, you can buy pre-killed food, which is gassed, and the gassing, it's bad. Not as bad as it is for pigs because they're much smaller animals. They do die quicker, but it's still death that doesn't have to happen because no one should have a snake as a pet in the first place. But, oh, you said something else. Let me read what else you said. It's that unsafe to feed them live animals. I was told the risk of them getting hurt themselves, but I have never taken care. Yeah, there's all, if you just look at on, I guess you could do a Google search on, you know what, maybe, I mean, I don't want to put a picture of a snake that had its face chewed off, but snakes are dumb. They really are. And not a, they're as smart as they need to be. Like I said in my book, snakes, they're, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said they're dumb. Snakes are as smart as God wants a snake to be. And it doesn't, but in captivity, it ends up being dumb because it's forced into a situation that it isn't made for. Now, out in the wild, a snake isn't going to sit there and just let a rat chew on him. It's going to slither away. But when you're in a cage this big, you got nowhere to slither. And the rat doesn't, you don't know if the rat's hungry, if the rat is trying to protect himself, if the rat, you don't know. This is an unnatural, this glass box is unnatural. So the snakes, like I said, I shouldn't have said dumb, but it's just not equipped to deal with captivity like that. So yeah, it's pretty bad. Is it? So yeah, so snakes do get their faces chewed. And the thing is, okay, the rats, if it's a live feeding, the rat's doing whatever the rat does, and then a snake bites it. Well, if the snake doesn't bite it, you know, in the right spot, it'll come, let's say, get the back leg. Well, if all it has is the back leg, that rat's going to turn around and try and break free by chewing on anything. That's why it was very common for us in the reptile rescue days to get snakes that had their eyeballs chewed out, to have the mouth rot, because snakes have, you know, rats have chewed on the mouth to try and get away. And the people never brought the snake to the veterinarian to get an open wound taken care of. So infection and rot begins, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. So, okay. Right before I became vegan, I was invited to a reptile show by a friend, ex-friend now, and they had snake in small containers that look like petri dishes. Why are we doing these things to them? One of the things we got to do is go to these reptile expos to perform, because I did a trick in my show where I would balance a burning barbecue grill on my face and make a snake appear out of the fire. Don't know if you guys ever saw that. So we got known as snake people, and that gave us access to seeing stuff at these reptile expos that nobody gets to see, like what happens to these snakes in these little, we called them deli cups. You're calling them petri dishes. And they would be kept in there all weekend long. Expos are typically a Saturday and Sunday, maybe a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we have 3 days of being picked up, put down, picked up, put down, no access to proper heat, no access. It's, and these things, we would get there early in the morning to set up for our show, and there would be people flushing dead snakes, dead lizards down the toilet in the expo, you know, restrooms. This kind of stuff goes on all the time because it's a matter of the more you might bring 100, but you only need to sell 10 to make a profit. So the rest die, 90 die. You don't care. You made a profit off your 10. It's that kind of attitude. And again, snake people are just too cool for to be told, hey, what you're doing is inhumane. They'll talk about it being humane and all the stuff they do as these people are picking up these little deli cups all day long and treating them terrible. There's a new comment. Sorry. Here I am blabbing. See, you got me going on snakes. It's like getting me going on Bible stuff. I don't shut up. So, but yeah, there's a lot of that going on, and snakes should not be pets. I would say it like this: a dog. I mean, as long as you're doing a rescue and you can get a dog, go for it. But a dog has the mental ability to adapt. You could bring a dog, even if you live in a small apartment. It's better than living the rest of your life in a shelter, in a cage where you're going to maybe get euthanized. So if you got a small apartment, it doesn't matter, because a dog after a while is going to go, all right, this small apartment, this is my home. These people, these are my pack. Okay, I can get with this. They're I think the term I used once is soft wired. Dogs, cats, they're soft wired. They can adapt to situations that snake can't. Snakes are hardwired. Lizards are hardwired. They don't understand, again, those glass walls on the aquarium. Snakes want privacy. They want to hide under rocks and not be bothered by anything, where they feel safe. But people, when they get them, they want a pet that they can have on display. So they got them in places where you see them 24 hours a day, or when people walk past at night to go to the bathroom and pee when they're sleeping. All these things disrupt the normal cycles for a snake that a snake is hardwired and can't adapt to the way a dog or a cat can adapt. So, all right. Oh, I'm enjoying this snake talk. Oh, I have had so many snakes. How do I get rid of this? Hold on. Remove from studio. But some of them were wonderful stories. I didn't know that snakes were so sensitive. Yeah, snakes can be sensitive. People don't realize it because they don't really show it. They don't cuddle, they don't whine. They can't walk with their tail between their legs the way a dog does, or their ears back, or anything like that. All you can do is, like, if you're me, and you can watch their tongues, the way their tongues come out. If they're coming out fast, flickering, and coming in, are they coming out slow because they're scared? And does that slow mean they're scared, or does it mean, wait, I sense something moving? Is that possibly food? There's a hand moving above me. I don't know it's a hand. I'm a snake. I can barely see that far. I got that big, bright heat lamp over me. I can't see. I'm going to bite it and see if it's food, because you haven't fed me in 3 weeks. And people get bit. Snakes, they are sensitive, but I love them. They're fascinating. I got into them so much. I'm going to try and find me a snake picture. Oh, here's a picture of Maria with one of our pets. Yeah. Yeah. I miss that. That's Mr. Sparkle. Yep, Mr. Sparkle. Yeah, sometimes snakes can, depending on the species of snake. When they're younger and smaller, you're going to feed them, like, let's say king snake, a corn snake, you could feed them 7 to 10 days. When you're a big snake like this one, you're eating about 10 to 12 pounds of rabbits, and it takes a long time to digest that, 8, 10 days to digest that. So you could feed that one maybe every couple weeks, every 14, 16 days, something like that. And yeah, Mr. Sparkle. I thought that was a great name. We were doing kids' birthday parties at the time, and I just thought it was a great name for the kids. And I have, back at my old house on the garage wall, we had card after card, from kids that yearly would send Mr. Sparkle birthday cards. It was great. It was great. So, how nice. Where was that? That was, I'm trying to remember where we took that picture. I can't remember. Way too many. Lori, I see is that for the snake or is it for me? Is it for me, Lori? No, you love the snake. Okay. I'm trying to figure out when that came in. Oh, hi, vegan. Oh, you're someone new. Not to kill animals. Right on. I was talking to the other people and I didn't see you sneak in. I didn't mean to ignore you. Hi. The Catholic Church says not to kill animals needlessly. There's really not a need to kill animals. I mean, unless a bear is attacking you, and no bear is going to attack you. Come on. No cow, chicken, or pig attacks anybody. Although, you know what? I shouldn't say that. um, I've seen a few chickens attack people. It's been pretty funny. Chickens are fearless. I mean, if they're going to protect their young, which is a Bible thing, because there's a couple times where God talks about his love for mankind, and he compares himself to a chicken. Like that would be an insult in today's society, but back in those days, that was a big deal for God to say that he wants to put his arms around you the way a mother hen protects her that. But chickens if you're going to mess with their eggs or their babies, they'll attack you. They don't care if you're 6 foot tall. They're going to jump at you and do what they can. I love that. Chickens are awesome. How long was Mr. Sparkle? Okay, here comes the Mr. Sparkle stories. That Mr. Sparkle, and we had a bunch of them, was a rescue, everything. I never bought a snake. Or I didn't buy a snake. I think I bought my first couple snakes like when I was a teenager. But then I found out about rescues, and everything after that point was just a rescue because they were so abundant. But that Mr. Sparkle is, I'm going to look at it. And I'm going to say Maria's 4, 8, maybe 10 to 12 feet. I'm going to show you a different one. Let's pull up another one. Okay, this guy, this was from a show, pre-vegan days, but whatever. Okay, that's Head. We called him Head because his head was so big. And Head got to be over 16 feet before he passed away. And just a big, dopey, gentle giant of a snake. And wow, crazy, crazy stuff. And heavy. Wow, was he heavy? Yeah. But that's what Maria did. I don't know why I wasn't one of the muscle boys holding up the rest of the snake. Victoria, you said something there. Let's see. The Bible's Pentecost account tells us they received divided tongues of fire. Snakes have divided. Correlation makes it interesting. But okay. All right. That's a hint for Bible. All right. Well, why don't you find it for me and send it to me? Do you know what I got so many videos I want to respond to, but that does sound, maybe I'll just skip the videos and do that. Yeah. Divided tongues. There's the fun study is, everybody says Satan was a snake in the Garden of Eden. And when God cursed it to crawl on its belly, well, I'm like, well, serpents don't always mean legless animals, legless creatures. So I'm thinking he wasn't a snake. Satan wasn't snaking. It's only I'm getting tired already. He wasn't a snake at that time because if he was cursed to crawl on his belly, he was turned into a snake. He was some other kind of serpent. So I don't know, more study stuff. But yeah, VSLs, that Head was huge. And I miss him. I do miss him a lot. It got to the point to where I was spending about 20 hours a week out in the barn. We had a barn built on our property and property. And I would just walk down it. It was like almost 40 feet long. And on one side and the other side, there's just cage after cage. And My job was to clean poop every day. I'd walk in, you need to be clean. I mean, sometimes it was a 10-hour day, sometimes it was only a 2-hour day because snakes, they don't eat every day, so they don't poop every day. Unlike vegans who poop 10 times a day. Oh, wait, I got a text. Who's texting me now? Oh, it's the wife saying she's out running around. Wife's out hiking right now, having a good time hiking. Okay. But what's the biggest? So we've got more snakes. If you ever want to see snakes, just let me know. I got decades of pictures like this. And let me see the rest of the comments. Did I miss anything? Veganix675 said, no, you just said the Catholic Church. I got that. Okay. Lori, I answered that. Okay. All right, so Victoria, whenever we get to this snake with the divided tongue thing, you come up with some ideas, I'll come up and we'll do one of these lives together. I just want to get people involved in activism. I want more people to come out and get active. You don't got to be afraid of it. It's not that bad. Although there are some people that are just irritating. Same. When you went say, are we drinking over there? Are we? No, that's right. You said you don't drink, didn't you? Okay, there we go. Did I ever tell you my getting high story that never happened? Good, I'll tell you now. I told my wife, like, I've been straight edge my whole life. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't get high, I don't swear. I'm such a boring religious fanatic. But I told my wife, like, because we met back when I was 31 years old. So I said, when I turn 60 or 61 or something like that, I go, I'll get high for you because she gets high. And she waited. Here it is, 30 years later. She's still with me. And she's like, hey, you're 60. And I'm like, I can't do it. She was so mad. Oh, no booze for the stoner lady. Good. The strongest thing I do now, coffee. That's it. And I've been doing a lot of the mushroom coffee too because I don't want to. I like iced tea. I haven't had as much iced tea. I have green tea with raspberry in it, and that I always enjoy. So, are you like? Have you always been a no booze? Is that something new, or shut up, Steve? It's none of your business. I shouldn't have even asked that. That was wrong. It's just never been something in my life. Oh, okay. For my wife, that was one of the benefits. She's like, great, I can get drunk and I got somebody to drive me home. So that worked out really good for her. It worked out really good for me because a drunk wife is fun. She's a fun drunk. Her clothes can't stay on. I love every minute. It's a great life. I enjoy being me. I live near Portland. It's just what everyone does for some reason. I think everybody drinks everywhere. I've just seen it destroy so many people. Maybe that just kind of turned me off to it. It destroys jobs. It destroys relationships, marriages. It's and it just I'm heartbroken out of it. So I'm like, why even play with it? You know, they say don't play with fire, and here I am, a guy that juggles fire. But you know, designated drivers are hard to find and considered a treasure when you go out to the club. I know. So this is. Have you ever? No, I never have. Never. I think my experience to it is, I remember being at a party and having a Coca-Cola and somebody would pour Jack Daniels in and I'd take it and I go, funny, funny guys. But no, did I ever just sit down and, buy a beer? No, I've never done that. So other than my friends messing with me, that's about the extent of it. Um, yeah, I don't miss it. Never started, don't miss it, don't care. But I like it. I mean, especially here in Vegas, it's fun and in my business because I'm a typical guy. Pretty girls are wonderful. And when my wife says, "Hey, me and my showgirl friends all want to go out drinking. Do you want to drive us home?" I'm like, "Yes, I will hang out with you all night and watch you silly girls get drunk and kiss and do all for sure. Count me in." Oh man. But yes, truly is one of the perks. Yeah, like you're old enough now to make your own decisions. You want to get drunk, I'm there to take care of you. She takes care of me. She cooks for me. She does what I can't do. I do what she can. See, now you want to make me find more snake pictures, more food pictures. I can find drunk pictures of her. I wish, like, I don't think my wife has ever been she's been that girl, where she had to get carried home maybe 3, 4 times. And how many years have we been together? Been together 91. So I can't even figure out how many that is. Long time. I can't count. I can't do math. Oh, I'm blonde. Um, so that isn't a lot, but there's been a couple times I held her hair back on the toilet. I have had to be carried sadly many times. Yeah, but that's what you got friends for. And it sounds like it's not something that's a concern for you, so I'm happy for you. That's good. That is a big snake. I haven't seen that picture in a long time. One time I was, oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Here I am just having fun with it, and I'm so sorry. I'm glad you got somebody. I'm glad I got. You know what? Some people like being single, but I need the help. I appreciate having somebody in my life. Victoria, thanks for the invite to pair up, but unfortunately, my current burnout prevents me from. I understand that. Oh man, activism burnout is so rough. It's so hard because, you know, Anna here and me, we get to come home to vegan partners. And I can only imagine, I mean, I don't know your situation, Victoria, but I can't imagine what it's like to go through a day of activism and, trying to get people to show compassion. Like, can you believe we have to fight and argue to get people to be nice? And just to come home to a partner or to a mom or a dad or a sibling who do the exact same things. The burnout is just so tough. I'm so blessed that Maria became vegan like a week after I did. It's all good fun times. Remember a few lessons I will never forget. But that's what life is. It's lessons, isn't it? We all do these things. We all make mistakes. We all eat meat. There's the big mistake, huh? I'll never. Can't believe I did that. I can't believe I used to kill rats and rabbits just to feed to these snakes. By the hundreds. Back when I started, you didn't buy pre-killed, let's just say humanely for the work of that, for the humane, let's use that word, but the humane preparation of the rats and rabbits where they would fall asleep. CO2, they would gas them and they die much quicker, much less painful than being eaten, sometimes alive, by a snake or crushed to death and suffocated to sometimes, 20, 30 minutes of being squeezed to death. So the gassing was always more humane. I don't even like using the word humane. I should just say it's painful on a scale of 1 to 10. It's less than a 10, but it's still painful. And then you can freeze them, which is always good because that'll kill the parasites that the rats or rabbit have. But then I would have to defrost it and feed it to the snake. And, that came later on. But when we first started, you couldn't buy rats and rabbits like that. I did not have access to CO2 tanks to euthanize them with. So what we did was we had to kill them ourselves, just like you see on all these things. I'm responsible for the death of many rats and rabbits. I just, oh gosh, it kills me inside. This breaks my heart. But in my brain, I was, it's either this much pain, or this much pain. And I felt like I was being humane because I was only inflicting this much pain. You should totally make video. I did a few, but I never really had much comments or thumbs up on them or anything like that. So I'm like, maybe people don't care about the snakes. They just want to fight with me about Bible stuff. So maybe, I don't know. Oh, well, worry. I mean, maybe I will. Okay, there need to be people made aware. I just wish they would quit selling snakes as pets or carnivorous animals as pets. And then the decision was, do I save a snake? Which means to keep that snake alive, I'm going to kill 1,000 more rats and rabbits over the course of its life to keep one snake alive? Or does a shelter just kill the one snake and save 1,000 lives? See? Rescue work is horrible. It screws with your brain. You don't know how to deal with this or function. I so many times I just sit there and I'm just like, did I do the right thing? I mean, part of me was sitting there thinking, all right, if this snake was in the wild, in captivity, no additional rats died to keep the snake alive, then it would have eaten on its own if it was in the wild. And that brought me some level of reason, or it made it sound reasonable to me. But then I thought, am I just trying to justify it? I mean, I quit performing with the snake. I mean, I don't know if you see some of the later TV shows, like when I was on Letterman, I didn't do a snake out of the barbecue grill. I quit performing with the snake coming out of the barbecue grill part for many years at the end of my career. Which is probably why people quit hiring me. Victoria Hart says, animal rescue is filled with ethical dilemmas for dedicated. It is. Thank you. It's. I even talked to Craig, Victoria. I talked to Craig about this, and he pretty much said the same thing. But who knows if we did the right thing? It's just that one of the things that kind of shifted when we were doing the rescue part is, we would bring snakes like this. Let's just say I was doing a school, and I'm in an auditorium, and there's, I don't know, what is there, 500 kids, 1,000 kids in an auditorium, and I was the animal show that was hired. Now I could teach them, yes, things about animals just by showing them pictures, but the schools aren't going to hire you. They want actual animals. They have a budget they need to spend on certain things, and they want the actual animals. So this is where I become the vegan activist, from what I did 1 year to what happens once I become vegan. So once I go vegan, I realize, all right, I'm going to be in front of an auditorium of 6th graders, 7th graders, hundreds of them. Now in the show, I would bring out a snake, or I would bring out a lizard. I'll try and find a picture of a lizard. I don't know. No, well, I can't find it now. Why do I feel like I need to show you what I was doing? Let's. I just feel like I need to. Um, all right. Well, here. Let's just look at here. This is no. That's not the one I want. What am I doing here? Remove from studio. Remove from studio. There we go. There's Maria with one of our lizards. So, what was I trying to say? Oh, let's get an iguana in there. There we go. I like iguanas. Okay. So, what the heck? I've lost everybody now. Oh, well. So, Kitty puking. Oh, no. I hope Kitty's okay. Even as a volunteer in the shelter or rescue place, it's hard because you have no decision in what to feed them. Lori, did you work in a shelter? Did you? Now, at least this lizard here is an herbivore, so that was always nice. And lizards, they got some of them, iguanas, they got good personalities. Some of them, I don't know their level of recognizing their owner, their caretaker, whatever you want to phrase it. But Claudia, we named her Claudia because every time you hold her, you get all clawed up. She had such sharp nails all the time. But that was her happy place, was just sitting on Maria's shoulder. It would just Maria could just walk around the house and be doing the vacuuming. And Claudia would just sit on her shoulder. This is I volunteered at the zoo when I was a teenager. I volunteered a long time ago in wildlife rescue as well. So are you am I saying things that you can well, I think I'm saying things then that you can relate to. You've probably seen and been involved with yourself, huh? I'm all worried about the kitty puking now. But I guess cats just they do that. Your husband dream was become so he's all into reptiles too. Herpetologist is for you guys reading this. That's a fancy word for guys like me who are like raising, caring, maybe not like me when it comes to the breeding, but just general reptile husbandry. I gotta have some Wawa. Wow, this mug has really had the heck beat out of it, hasn't it? I didn't notice it until I saw it on camera right here. My frustrated. Oh, you're frustrated. I thought it said husband. Gotta put my glasses on again. My frustrated dream. I thought you said my husband's dream. Well, maybe your husband got you frustrated. I don't know. You hope everything is good, Lori? You mean with the puking kitty? Blah. I'm not a big fan of cats. I like all animals, but I just no. I dogs I like. Cats I just never really seem to get along with them too well. Who's my favorite monkey? Well, let's see. I can't really, I don't know. It's like saying who's your favorite? She's okay. She just ate some grass and did that. Oh, okay. We are now being questioned on who my favorite monkey is. I liked Mike. He was so cool. I got the opportunity to meet all of them. And I even got like even more opportunity to hang out with Mickey quite a few times. And I was just like, which is really weird because again, I'm very blessed with all the fun I've had in my career. I got to hang out, I got to meet Celine Dion, I got to meet Shania Twain, I got to meet Motley Crue, I got to all these people that I've worked with and performed with. I was like, oh, this is fun. I'm Paul Stanley, nice to meet you, kiss. This was fun. But when I met Mickey Dolenz the first time, I was like, I couldn't even talk. I was like a little kid. I was just like starstruck. And my wife is like, his name is Steve, and he says, it's a pleasure to meet you. And I just stood there. All right. So if Victoria, that my favorite monkey, I think would be Mike. He's so cool. Mike was the one with the hat, at least in season 1. In season 2, he didn't have to wear the hat. He got rid of it. He was a big star. He could do whatever the heck he wanted. So yeah, Davy Jones was definitely the cute one. Mickey was the funny one for sure. For sure. So, but yeah, I still monkeys. You said that because of my mug, didn't you? Yeah. And hey, can you see the tattoo? Yeah, monkeys are tattooed right there. It's freaking crazy that I got a tattoo of the monkeys. Said it before, I'll say it again. I'm a total dork. But but she liked it, so I must be doing something right. Oh, I left off on the Maria story with the lizard. So when we were doing the kids' animal shows, which was another way we raised money for the reptile rescue efforts. But when I went vegan, things changed. And this is a fun story. If you're vegan, I hope you like it. So there I am standing in front of what could be, most schools were small. I'm going to say 500 to 600 kids in an auditorium. And thank you. And the animals that we brought out, like this iguana, was a rescue. This one, I remember hanging off the edge of a building, and Maria's got a belt wrapped around my wrist just in case I lose my grip, so I don't fall, to rescue an iguana off of a balcony. And I would share all the stories on how we got these, all the neglect on the animals that we had, that we brought to the kids' school functions. And as I told all the stories, we got a lot of kids going, oh, and we drummed up some emotional connection to the animals because they understood how the animals needed help. They weren't just there for a showpiece, and it wasn't just, hey kids, here's an iguana. So at the end of the show, towards the end of the show, I would end it like this. I would say, hey, you guys heard a lot of stories about how I risked my life doing this and how I got bit doing that and how I got hurt doing that. Do you guys might want to help animals, but you don't want to get hurt, do you? Nah, you don't want to get bit, do you? No. Well, there's a way you can help animals without taking any risk at all. And the easiest thing is quit eating them. And you would see every teacher in the audience be sitting there going, oh, I used to love doing that part of the show. It was so exciting to me. I had so much fun doing that. All right, that I got to do that in a video because now it's just making me happy and laugh. We didn't get invited back to that school a second time. But so that was that's weird because, all right, let's look at that from now. We used to get a lot of grief from vegans because we were exploiting animals in that show. See, so how does it balance out? Here we are taking rescues, using them to save other animals, or at least plant the seeds to save other animals, but it was still exploitation. I was a new vegan. I was just putting things together. I don't know what I would do now if I would still do it that way. All right, so you guys tell me, what do you think? Since we're all live, and I started talking about this pastor guy, and now we're talking about snake rescues and my wife half naked with an iguana. Let me get her off the screen. Unless, of course, there's some guys out there watching who are just like, no, that's the reason we're staying tuned in. Yes, Maria. But okay, I'm waiting to see some comments in the chats. My chat thing is over there, even though my camera's there. Sorry. So I'm not trying to turn away from you or show you my ear or my lack of fluff on this side. It doesn't feather properly. My hair is not 80s. It's definitely 70s. It's more feathered than it is wild. So wait, come on, guys. Give me some feedback here. Was I exploiting animals? Yes, I was. Is it good that I stopped, or did I help animals? Yeah, I know. I'm not sure either. Snuck in a go vegan message at school. Yes, Victoria, I did quite a few times. Oh, it was great. It is, and sanctuaries do charge to come and feed the animals because, again, it's a huge amount of money. I mean, if my wife did a show and she got paid, let's just say she made $2,500 that day, then we had $2,500 we could put into the rescue efforts. But we could spend $2,500 in one day easily. And then tomorrow we would need another 2,500, but our income didn't happen like that. Is very sporadic. And not every job paid like that. I mean, a lot of jobs are just a few $100. But the point I'm trying to say is, even if we did make a huge amount of money, I mean, if I put $1 million into animal rescue on Friday, I could spend another $1 million on Saturday. But we just don't have unlimited resources. It's that bad. There's always another animal that needs rescue. There's always another animal that needs medical help. Another thing is we would go to kids' birthday parties and, what'd you say, Lori? It's a way of exploitation. I understand the teaching part. What would be the best way? Yeah. Really, it is. It's exploitation. But by doing these kids' animal shows, it brought us into people's homes. And I would get into a home and I would see, moms that, bought their kids like an iguana. And I would see these skinny, emaciated iguanas. And I would say to them, not be mean, I think I just go, hey, he's a cute little guy. Does he eat much? And they're like, no, he never eats. And I'm like, what are you feeding them? And they go, lettuce. And I go, what else? What else? Like, just lettuce. I'm like, could you live on just lettuce? I mean, iguanas need a wide variety of dark green leafy vegetables. And these people don't know that. And so just getting into the home, I wouldn't have access to if I wasn't doing those kids' animal shows. Again, I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just saying what I did when I went vegan and how I tried to work within whatever it was I already had established. I didn't know how to get out of it, and I didn't know how to go further. What did you say? Pictures, documentaries, taking them to watch them in the wild. Yeah, I mean, pictures and stuff could do the same kind of educational stuff, but you know what? The moms and dads aren't going to have you come out. The schools are not going to have you come out if you're just showing pictures. If it's a buffalo, yeah, they understand it. But there's so many of these kids parties, these, petting zoos that come out to kids' homes. If somebody else had a petting zoo, we want a bigger petting zoo. And the word of mouth was so huge on us from our non-vegan days that it gave us access to stuff that, I don't know, it was 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I mean, but in the end, at least I was 2 steps in the right direction. Do you see how I I was trying to reason with it. I'm not trying to justify. I was just trying to figure out what to do at that time and then in that moment. Uh, Their local animals rescues that books petting zoo shows animals travel in sweltering trailer exactly and are stars so that they eat carrots that the kids shove in their faces. Absolutely. The people don't see that before they go out to those animal shows, those animals aren't fed the day before. They're also, people don't think about it, but they're not given water because you don't want a goat or um, a farm animal like that, a little pig. You don't want them peeing all over. Nobody wants these animals peeing, so you don't give them any water. And the kids aren't feeding them water, so they're trying to eat moisture-rich foods like carrots, it's just an ugly, ugly. And they do it to these animals every Friday, Saturday, or every Saturday and Sunday on which are typical birthday party days. I was kind of glad that, I had 20 snakes because if a snake worked on Friday, it didn't work again for another month, 2 months, so each snake would work maybe one birthday party a month. But snakes, they weren't trained with food. They didn't require that. Reptiles you don't train them. It was just merely a display. Maria would walk out holding them while I would talk about them. And then that was really all the entire process. If the animals don't consent, it's exactly. I agree, Victoria. They couldn't consent, and I was trying to consent for them. All right, well, there needs to be more conversations. Yeah. But you know what? All these sanctuaries, very few of them are vegan. We're lucky that we have a vegan owned sanctuary here in Vegas. And I can have these conversations with her because, she's going through the same kind of thing. What do I do? What do I do? I got these medical bills. It's all horrible. I understand the zoo also gave I understand in the zoo also they gave is a snake, lizard, hissing roaches, rabbits to the volunteers, and we'll show them to. Yep. At least, it's when I see some of these petting zoos, and they say, here, give the kid, and the kid hands it to another kid, to another kid, to another, that's horrible. And my thought was by Maria just holding it, it's like I said, Claudia sat on her shoulder. That was her happy place. So Maria would just hold it, or if it was a large auditorium, she would just, with the one on her shoulder, walk through the auditorium, up and down the aisles, walk back. It was all minimal, but at the same time, it was absolute exploitation. But I keep coming back to saying the money we made to save more animals. And I would, remember, like I mentioned, the iguana with the skinny iguanas, that tiny cage. Maria would call them up the next day and say, hey, we were at your house yesterday and we did the animal show and, and some of the cockroaches escaped. No, kidding. She goes, but we had somebody donate a cage that's much larger than the one you got. Would you like it? And the people would say, yeah, sure. Maria would then go to the store with the money they just paid us, buy a cage. Yeah, she lied through her teeth. I love my wife. She lied about it just so she could buy them a new cage to give the animal at least a bigger habitat. That's the kind of crap that we did when we went vegan, which was, hey, Sabby, you stumbled onto me live. I'm so glad you did. You told me the spooky thing and you told me your name. I just like saying Sabby. It's just a fun way to say Sabby. I like it, Sabby. Oh, you stumbled onto me. Well, what you stumbled onto about an hour and a half ago, I was talking about this one pastor dude, and then VSL showed up, and here we are talking about me being an animal exploiter in my past. Octopus, red wave, octopus. I guess that was supposed to be an emoji. Yeah, yay. Oh, those are little cats coming out of boxes, aren't they? So my first goal with this, Savvy, was just to catch you up on what we're doing is an hour and a half ago. Well, not a few hours ago, I got a information from StreamYard, which is what I'm using for this platform right now. And they said I need to lower my resolution so the pictures don't get so the video doesn't get pixelated when it's uploaded to YouTube. And I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try. So I'll just thought I'd do a review on some meat eating pastor who would obviously want me shot. And then DSL showed up, and you're here, and Victoria, and Lori, and oh, who else is even here? I don't know now. I'm losing my mind. But it's been fun. I said Victoria. This is fun. I can see why you guys do live. I'm enjoying the conversation. I'm enjoying the vegan conversation that doesn't require me defending veganism. We're not defending it. Oh, Victoria, bye. I'm so glad you had a chance to stop by, and I will see you in Creation Care Church on our Friday Night Live fellowship group afterwards. It was on Google Meet instead of Zoom last time. So see you then. There is a demand for more vegan hangout. Is there? I don't know. You got your finger on the pulse of all this stuff. You would know. I don't. I do like them. I do like just leaving one in the background while I edit because of what I do. I just want to hear the religious vegan conversations that sometimes appear. And that's one. So if I'm editing and I hear somebody say blah 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 Jesus, I go oh. And then I listen to the conversation. But I learn a lot because I learn what people are dealing with, and then I can make videos to hopefully help them deal with that stuff. So I'm subbed and have notifications on. I wasn't notified of the live, Stephen. That's YouTube thing being bad. Okay. Looking forward to watching some of your YouTube videos. Oh, that's you talking to Vegan Stoner. You'll like them. Victoria, she does great activism. I mean, she is out there like all the time. There's so much that I learned from listening to Vegan Stoner Lady about how to do activism. I will be out there doing stuff, and all of a sudden I'm like, how would she handle it? And it comes to me because I've spent so many hours. And again, it's on while I'm doing my editing or doing whatever it is I do here. And then all of a sudden I'll hear somebody say to her, the Bible says, and I'm like, oop. Thank you. Wait, how do you guys do the heart thing? I don't know. Wait, I'm trying to, whatever it is you guys do. I don't. Savvy. I just like saying savvy. That's terrible. I hope that's not offensive. Hands, yellow heart red. So those are that's our animal show story. Some of our animal show story. I got so many pictures. Should I even post okay, right now we're having a live, so I think within the context of what I'm doing, to explain the animals, I feel comfortable talking about it, but am I exploiting the animals if I put them in videos? I don't want to do something that's going to encourage people at home watching and say, oh, I want a cool snake like that. Okay, it's 100% fine. Okay. Because you got different names across all the vegan live chatter guys, gals, people. When you log on, I hear you called so many different names. I'm sure I'm called many different names too behind my back. So yeah, can I post pictures in my videos of me with the animals? I like to. I think it makes it fun, but I don't want to bring the vegan thing down and make it look like, oh, he's just exploiting them to get views or something. You got to think about that. Yeah, that's my fear is just the perpetuating others actually exploiting animals for profit. Exactly. I don't want to do that. I'll post pictures of my wife. I'll exploit her all the time. Just got to do it. Find something of her without an animal. Maybe showing the difference of how they live in captivity and in the wild. That example that you gave about the tank and how small it is for them is good. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Lori. I mean, if you hear the context of it, but if you don't hear the context, does it look like I just said I made a lot of money off doing kids' birthday parties? It's kind of like I'm going to bring it back to the Bible stuff because that's what I do. But it's like taking one verse out of context. It's like God gave us dominion. Well, yeah, but in the next verse, he put vegan boundaries on dominion. Well, if you just take that one line of me saying I made this much money doing an animal show, well, you don't know the context. That money went right back to buying that lady a bigger cage for that animal. You know, I'm glad you stopped by too, Victoria. Thank you. But you said you were going. Get some sleep. Don't get mad at me for keeping you up all night. And it's only 10:45. It's not that late here. I don't know what time it is by you, Victoria. So yeah, I this is a conversation I didn't think I'd be having about the animals tonight. Can I use them? Because I have posted pictures in some of my videos. I did think about it, but I didn't. Man, there's like little things just bounce around in my head right now. I don't know which. It's like I want to just grab one and like let's figure out this one first before I scare myself and confuse myself even more. Like if I just posted a picture of my birds, I had parrots. There's people have parrots as pets. That's not. I don't want to encourage that either. Because you've seen magicians make doves appear. I used to make parrots appear. On the Bozo show was the first time I ever did that. I juggled three silks that were, like see-through sheer kind of silks, juggle them, and then I bunch them together, and then bam, a parrot appears. The only juggler who ever did that. And I'm talking about that now because part of me is proud that I created something unique, but I don't like it now because now I look back on it because that was 35 years ago. And I'm not proud of that at all. I'm conflicted, really, truly. All right. But I do miss the parrot. She was a wonderful bird. My wife had the blue and gold that just bonded to her. They were like, you know, mother and daughter, blue and gold macaw. And I had the umbrella cockatoo. Her name was Rika. Now I got her. Birds aren't props to No, they're not. Rika was a prop to a magician, and she had a broken leg. When magicians make birds appear, it's always not gentle. I'm asking yeah because I don't think, and I was. Okay. I'm asking AI because I do think it's an honest, challenging obstacle. Yeah. Because part of me is even thinking, how many more people, just like when I do the kids' birthday parties, I got the vegan message to a bunch of people. Sometimes at kids' parties, 10 to 12 kids, sometimes auditoriums of kids. Or my wife at a corporate event holding a snake. We're reaching thousands of people giving a vegan message that never would have happened, ever, if we weren't holding a snake. And I'm not saying trying to talk myself into doing this again. It's done. It's over. I closed the rescue shelter. I'm broke. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars that I'll never have again. But I'm still emotionally dealing with my past. Most vegans are just like, well, I eat meat and I don't like the fact I wish I would have done it sooner. Part of me just keeps saying, I'm glad that I did what I did because I could see success. Oh, let me know what AI tells you. Maybe I should have that argument with ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT just tells me what I want to hear. I'm like, no, please. I want the opposing point of view. I want you to argue with me. What would a meat eater say? What would a vegan who really believes in abolition, which I do, but if welfareism is, I'll take it as a win for now, but I'm going to come back and try and tell you what you're doing is still wrong. It's not as wrong, but it's still wrong. I don't know. Had I known people would show up, I probably would have had a little list over here of all the things I could talk about tonight, but I'm just gabbing with y'all. Okay, I think Anna's really researching this for me because oh wait, today's Sunday. Are you going to be on tomorrow? I will have to plan my day at the gym accordingly to make sure I don't miss your show. Yes. So will I go in the afternoon? Will I go in the morning? It all depends on Vegan Stoner Lady. You will be. What time? And this is the TikTok one, right? To whoever's listening, be sure, look at Vegan Stoner Lady. Okay. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Be there. Your past made you who you're not now, Steven. Steven the vegan heretic. Yeah, I guess it did. It all just feeds into it. And I had no idea I'd be here. I have had so much fun. And now I feel like I quit having fun and I'm doing something substantial. I'm doing something important. Where before entertainment is important. It's good to entertain people. It's good to make people happy, good to make people laugh. But doing vegan outreach, that's substantial. That's life-changing. I tell a joke on stage. Maria and I do something that makes people stand up and applaud. That's good for that moment. But changing a person's life and saving animals from being slaughtered, wow, that's so rewarding. But it's also difficult. And everybody in this room right now, I think everybody in this room is activists. So you all know how difficult it can be. But all right, yeah. So what did that be? All right. So anybody watching tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, Vegan Stoner Lady on YouTube and TikTok. Make sure you log in, have all your questions ready. Savvy, you're an activist. You don't consider yourself. Do you ever go out and do any? Or I mean, you're here online doing activism, aren't you? I mean, your support and the things you do here that I'm familiar with, at least within the parameters that I know you of. But you're an activist. You don't have to do outreach. You are, think of that cheesy song, "You Are the Wind Beneath My Wings." You are support for so many of us that are just, we get home from a day of activism and we're like, oh, but then you come on and you say nice things. You help us all. We all have a function in the body. I mean, us religious people, we use the body of Christ as an example. It's like the Apostle Paul said, some people are a hand, some people are a foot. Do you get mad at the hand because it doesn't do the function that the ear, does, or the eye does? No, we're all part of one body and we all work together. It's, I would You don't have to do outreach. You don't have to do outreach. Shut up. Don't make me come over there and slap you. I'll sick one of my snakes on you. Snake. Fangs. Rare. Do you want to hear that sound I just made? Rare. Rare. Do you want to know? I'll tell you the story of that. Oh, but first let's find a picture of Cleo. Oh, somebody. Hey, I don't know how to say your name. So I'll just call you, is it Tad? Tad Otto? Okay. Very difficult indeed. I just popped in to say hello. Good evening. Hello, good night. Ended up lurking instead. Savvy's one. There you go. Well, I'm glad you said hello. Have I ever said hello to you before? If I haven't, pleasure to meet you now. Thank you for at least popping in and saying hi. Tad. Okay. I'll do Tad. I can do. Savvy says Tad. So, oh, and you said Tad. Oh, you said Tad too. Okay. Tad too. Tad too. Get it? Lots of tattoos. You have said hello. Oh my gosh. There it is. Forgetful. Well, this is going to happen to you. One day you're going to be a senior citizen like me. You're going to get forgetful. So, while you guys are saying the hellos, I'm going to tell you the rare story. No, can't do that picture. Can't do that picture. Can't do that. I'm trying to find a picture of Maria with the bird. And I don't want to get kicked off the channel, so I can't really find. All right. Yeah, what the heck? There's Maria with the bird. Okay, that's Cleo. As you can see, I have a hard time finding pictures of Maria that are YouTube friendly. So that's Cleo right there. And Cleo, right, let's just delete that now. Cleo, we would order pizza. And when it got delivered, Cleo loved pizza. Not a thing you should ever feed a blue and gold parrot. I didn't know. But when we got it, birds' eyes like that have a way of dilating, opening and closing the pupils real quick like that. So when we opened up the pizza box, her eyes went like that. And I said to Maria, my wife, I go, look, her eyes, they just kind of went rah, when she saw the pizza. Then from that point on, the bird picked up this habit. The next time pizza came and we opened up the box, we started eating it, the bird goes, rah. Oh, she was I miss that bird. She passed away. Ted is an activist. He does outreach. Wonderful. Where are you from, Ted? I don't know. Are you like what area? Are you even in the United States? And more importantly, will I see you tomorrow morning on VSL's live? North Texas. I don't do well in Texas. Guys with big fluffy hair in Texas, not good. No. Not good at all, man. I get called names all the time. Oh my gosh. Texas is a rough state for me. I don't get to perform there much. It's like they look at me and the agents won't even pitch me. They're like, no, we can't sell you in Texas. I'm like, all right. But I have a friend that lives there that I've known, oh my gosh, 40 years. And it's almost her birthday, and I need to send her a birthday wish. You can relate. Why are you a long-haired dude too? I'm gonna have to look you up now, young man, and see who you are. But Texas. All right, another non-vegan thing. You know when you drive through Amarillo and they got that 5-pound steak, if you can eat it, it's free? That was me. My goodness, veganism has changed my life. So I used to drive across the United States constantly. I worked in the county fair circuit. You know, every city or every state has a county fair, every city has a county fair. And I would get hired to, and I've been to every small town in the United States. Gosh, that was a lot of fun. So much fun. I got to see so many. I think America's a great country to visit. I mean, there's these little towns all have their unique things. Even when I went vegan, I was still doing some of them and I was still able to be vegan, but it was difficult. I may pop in for a couple minutes. I'll be at work building. You build cabinets? Nice. Like from scratch? Like, are you a carpenter type thing? Also, I've been to all these little towns and, you know, I would be booked for, you know, maybe a weekend or, you know, 5 days for a fair. And I got to meet some really nice people, hang out at the local bars, and they treated you like a superstar because, you know, you're performing at their county fair and their county fair is a big deal to them. You've been to, is that in Texas? Because I'm thinking, I don't know if it's spelled that way, but when you say Munster, I'm thinking Indiana, which I have. No, not the Texas one. No, that one doesn't sound familiar. But you know what? I could have forgotten. Again, I've been juggling since I was 17 and I'm 64 now. So I can't remember every place I've been to. That's why I keep referring to pictures because it helps me remember the moment or the time. And what was I say? So even in the small towns, when I first went vegan, I still kept vegan, but I learned something that I don't have to go to a restaurant to eat. If there aren't vegan options at a restaurant, I can go to a grocery store. Every town has a grocery store, and it wouldn't be unusual for me to get, 10 bananas, and that would be my dinner that night. And people would give me grief and say, "Oh, you eat 10 bananas. What kind of dinner is that?" And I'm like, "You eat 10 buffalo wings. You eat 10 pieces of pizza. You eat 10 shrimp cocktails. What's the matter with me eating 10 bananas?" So, but I learned to do that, and it was just a lot of my dinners ended up being apple. This turned into one of my favorite foods: apple with almond butter dipped in granola. Oh man, that's like crack to me. So that was always a dinner I could buy when I got into a small town. Bread, but I didn't care. It didn't matter. I crossed the line into veganism. I'm not going back. And for me, it was an ethical thing. So even when it was difficult, didn't care. I could go without eating that night. Skinny as I am, I can still go without food. I'm not going to die. So is that like a small town in Texas that 10 buffalo wings is 5 baby? Exactly. And people down those things like it's no big deal. And that's one of the things that I think veganism is copied very well. I mean, the vegan buffalo wings, oh my gosh, they're so good. Like I still don't think vegan cheese is that great. It doesn't work for me. But the buffalo wings, like the Daring breaded buffalo wings, you just put your own. I like to use my own buffalo sauce because it's much better. There's one that I really like. The buffalo, is it Noble Made? It has a really hot buffalo. It's just the right amount of hot that I like. But I will get the breaded Daring and just heat that up in the oven and then just shake it up in a bowl with the buffalo sauce and the Noble Made buffalo, and it's delicious. But and I think we copied it. I think ice cream. I think. Oh, Kathy. Hey, Kathy. I'm looking. Hi. I'm not talking Jesus stuff. I started to 2 hours ago, but then I got sidetracked, and I'm so happy I did because I've been talking to Tad, who I met before, but I forgot, so I'm embarrassed. I'm talking to Savvy because Savvy's a great activist, a supporter of activism. I'm talking to Vegan Stoner Lady, who will be live tomorrow morning. Make sure you're there. And Kathy Skywalker is here. Woohoo! So I think we copied the chicken things really good, if not even better, because you don't feel like crap after you eat them. But if it is buffalo, your crap will burn when you do it. Hannah, Kathy. She says Kathy. She says Anna. And ice cream. I think vegan ice cream is greatly superior to cow suffering ice cream. So I think those are two things that we hit a grand slam home run on those things for sure. Those are things you can serve to any meat eater, and I don't think I've ever had one complain and say this doesn't taste as good. I heard they go, wow, I had no idea it was so good. I know the vegan ice creams. Which one did you say? Yep. LOA Stephen, getting the hang of the YouTube. Am I? I don't know. I'm just chatting with you guys that I don't really get to chat with much when we're in VSL's live, because we're always fighting with the non-vegans and we never really get to talk to each other. So I'm kind of glad that I'm not popular. I just got the activists in here. That's great. Woohoo. What'd you say? I love cashew and oat base. They're so good. Didn't we have this conversation? The So Delicious salted caramel. Oh man. Oh gosh. See, now just saying that makes me feel like when I go to the gym tomorrow, I'm going to do an extra half hour on the treadmill just so I can bring that home. Popping up in the chats. ProFresh. Oh yes, that's right. I don't know that. Okay. Oh yes, we did. Uh-huh. I'm clicking on button. I'm seeing what everybody wrote. I'm so happy I found out how to do this. This is like a new button for me. Do you notice how fast I'm pressing it now? It's like so exciting. Oh, look, it says new comments. Okay, where is the new comments now? Okay, got it. There we go. So, like, what's the official thing to do? You said I'm getting on the YouTubes. What do we do to officially, like, because I don't know. Do I just let this load up and I don't have to do anything, right? I'm sure now 2 hours. I was planning on just talking like 20 minutes to see if there was any distortion on the feed when it got loaded up, but I guess 2 hours is even a better test. But I'm probably going to go shortly because I'm going to have you ever had which bagels? Is it the Royo has some vegan bagels, ROYO? They're like only 80 calories, but they're like 10 grams. Steven, you're a pro. And thank you. But I make garlic bread out of those bagels. Oh, they're so good. Yeah, I figured you meant realize. Yeah, I figured you meant realize. I got it. But oh, gee, well, let's see. We all have to get a good night's sleep, so we're all up and prepared for Anna at 9 a.m. Oh, how nice. I was your late night chatter tonight, Kathy. Well, once this finally does upload, I hope I'm not all glitchy. Let's all go to a pool party. Yeah. Where? Whose house? Oh, you're making me miss my pool now. I don't have a pool anymore. Is that why you said that? 2 a.m. What are you doing? Oh, gosh. Why are you talking to me at 2 a.m.? I don't want to talk to me at 2 a.m. Oh, it was a joke. I thought I had a great pool. Oh my gosh, Sabby. You're going to hear this a lot because this is like the biggest emotional down thing that I've gone through in years. I sold my house that I loved and I don't. Now I'm going to show you my pool. There you go. See what you did to me? Okay, wait, where's my pool? All right. That was my backyard. It was a vegan pool party paradise. We would have vegan pool parties constantly. Oh my gosh, it was late, it was night, everybody would be just chilling, everybody would be high, everybody would be naked. Vegans are great. I got some great vegan friends. But, after a night of activism, we used to come and just chill out and just relax. It was just great. And I miss that house. I do miss that house so much. But life moves on. And I will look at my pictures and I thank you guys or I thank you, Savvy, for bringing up the pool party because just looking at these pictures make me happy again. Even though the animals were kind of a sad thing, it made me happy to see them again. And I wouldn't do it if you guys didn't bring it up. So I appreciate that. That makes me feel good. Thank you, Kathy. Kathy, well, you're going to bed. It's late. It's 2 a.m. I thought you were going to sleep. But I'll give you a tour if I find more pictures sometime. But we built that whole backyard was just dirt when we bought the place, just dirt. And we built it ourselves, the fire pit, everything. And the fire pit was so professionally done. My wife took a broomstick handle and she dug a hole in the dirt, put the broomstick down, and got a 6-foot string. And let me get that out there. A 6-foot string, can of spray paint. And she went around with the 6-foot string. So it made a circle, a 6-foot circle. Or actually, it was a 12-foot circle. And we just stacked bricks on this circle, glued them, and we made this beautiful fire pit. And why did we sell it? Oh, Lori, do you want to hear the pickleball story? Okay. If you look at that picture, you can see beautiful, starry, quiet night, all that. You notice what's coming up in the background? That neighborhood, it was a dead-end cul-de-sac. Right. Oh, you're leaving? Good night, Tad. Oh, I didn't see that. You said going to sleep. Oh, okay. Get some sleep, man. Pleasure to talk to you again. Thank you for popping in, dude. All right. So where was I? Oh, yeah. Why did I sell it? So dead end cul-de-sac neighborhood, 4 families, 25 years. It was the kind of place that if I dropped my keys here, you would hear it a block away. That's how quiet it was. The land across the street was vacant. It was zoned for residential single family dwelling only. It's one of the reasons we bought the house that we bought, because we wanted quiet. I mean, even though I look like I'm not a crazy partier. Okay, our parties are very quiet, very controlled. We have chill parties. We don't have raves. It's not like that. When you do what we do for a living, a lot of our friends, we get done with a show. We don't want to go out and get crazy. We just want to relax. So we're like, perfect house. So this vacant land, 50 feet from our back door. 50 feet's not far. Think about it. You know what I mean? It's like 50 feet's not far. Well, without anybody's permission, the city changed it from residential to business. and they're going to build 24 pickleball courts directly across the street. I mean, so right, you go out our back door, there was a street, dead end. I mean, it went to nothing. So right across that street, I mean, does that tell you how little 50 feet is? Right across that street, 24 pickleball courts with LED stadium lighting until 11 p.m. every night. Pickleball. That kind of noise times 24 courts from 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. every day of our lives. A 14-foot, or is it, did they do 11? I think they decided on an 11-foot wall. Instead of the big open land, we now have an 11-foot wall that we will look at when we look out our window. Destroyed the home that Maria and I, my wife and I, wanted to live in for the rest of our lives. But Stephen, you were the noisy naked pool party people. You're not noisy when you're naked. But no, everybody was very chill. Yeah, it was. So that's the pickleball pool party story. Jeez, that's depressing. So that's why you no longer see the background of my videos with that purple wall that had all the memorabilia from the 1960s hanging on it. That's all gone. The backyard is gone. The barn where we had reptile rescue that I built on my property, we had like, I don't know, a little over 3/4 of an acre. So it was sizable, not really super big, but enough to where we could build the barn. And yeah, maybe I can find a picture of the barn too. Hold on a second. Nope, don't have one on this computer. Oh well, no big deal. Just the snake barn. But so we decided to sell. We lost a lot of money on the sales because people were not going to buy it with that noise and stuff across the street. So what was going to be, we were planning, our goal was to live there until I turned like 75, which is 10 years from now, and then sell it, because really at that age, do I need a house that big and all that stuff? No, I'm getting kind of old and tired to take care of it as it is. So, but that would give me enough money when we sold it to retire and never have to work again. But we took a big loss in the sale because no one wants to live next to 24 pickleball courts with stadium lighting and noise every hour of the day. So we took the loss. We got the money. Luckily, I have this house here that I'm in right now. I own this one. This one I rented out to people, and they moved out. So I just moved into it, and we'll live here for a couple of years until we decide what we're doing. Got to live here for 2 years and make it a permanent residence. So you can, for some tax reason, I don't know, it's my accountant knows, I don't know anything about that stuff. But, also not having a big house, less expense, gives me more time to do activism. So, hey, the Lord works in mysterious ways, right? All right, well, I was going to say I'm going to leave now, but I don't want to leave on a boring, sad story, man. I want to talk more about fun birds. And all right, next time we will do that. But I'm going to think about doing more videos about the reptile rescue, because you guys really seem like you're interested, and I don't know, I just want to make sure I do it in a way that's not going to encourage more people buying reptiles. That concerns me. And I don't want to be a guy who's just standing there going, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. So I don't know. I'll figure that out. But all right, that's it. Yeah. You just subbed to you. Well, thank you, Kathy. And by saying be vegan. Oh, come on. Do I have to say that? Everybody should be vegan. I think you could shine a light on a lot of the issues in that world. I think, well, maybe, I mean, well, maybe if I angered enough people to where they would want to interact with me, and I could invite them on, like you were saying earlier, invite pastors on to have, on camera to have a conversation. If I could invite them on, maybe that would be the good reason. And so maybe if I did some of it in a way that was very accusational to people that are in the industry, so that they would want to come on to defend themselves, kind of like, pushing it. But, and same, thank you, Vegan Stoner Lady, for all you do. Yes, Kathy Skywalker 77, good night to you. Sabby, yes, for the kids in the future, be vegan, as you said. And okay, that's it. I'm out of here. I guess Vegan Stoner Lady for one. Yes, see you all tomorrow in Vegan Stoner Ladies chat. And thank you for allowing me to share some of my life with y'all. It made me very happy tonight. All right, good night, everybody.